Now for our lesson, don't forget, at least by now I believe we know how to create different kind of insole. You should be able to create insole at this particular point in time. You have the ebook. If you have the ebook, then you can go ahead and use it to create templates. If you don't have the ebook, you must have watched the course on how to create an insole using a preformed template. So go ahead and use that for your insole for whatever size you intend to use. Or if you're buying an already made sole, then you can go ahead and create your insole from that. Now let me show us. I'm going to be using this as a template for on how to last it. Now the first thing you need to know is the measurement. There's going to be an opening here. We're going to be opening here, which is the point at which the strap will be going in between the big toe and the next one. So the measurement that we're going to be using is we're going to be using 3.5 centimeter from the side of your foot. From this biggest toe side, we're going to be measuring about 3.5 centimeter to 3 centimeter. Now from here to here, this is, please, I believe you can see it. This is 3. This is 3. This is 3. This is 3, not 4. This is 3. The line under each figure is what demarcates what the calibration is. So this is 3. This line under 3. In between here is 2.5. It is not 3. So this big long line calibration is the 3 centimeter. So we are using 3.5, and 3.5 is here. You can see this is 3.5. You can decide to use 3. You can use 3.5. But for this particular course, I would suggest we use 3. I think that would be very much okay. Then 3.5 on this side, and from this side to this side, we're going to be making use of 5 centimeters. So make sure that you use the highest part of your insole. So if we have this here, it means this is quite long, and we'll definitely have to work on it. So please, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but I really need you to see this. I need you to see this. So let me quickly walk on the camera so that you can see what I'm trying to do. So now if you look at this, our 5 is around here. You can see that 5 is around here. It means that where we picked initially is not good enough. It's not good enough, but you can use your meter rule. I know there is a kind of there is actually there's a particular meter rule. It's like a meter rule, but it has this kind of a shape like this. It will have been best to use that for this. But if you don't have, I can get the name and let you know about it. If you don't have, you can still go ahead. So you can see what I have here. This is not up to 3.5. This is 4. This is 4. So it means it's really too much, and I need 3.5. My 3.5 is 8. So I have to work on my pt3 rule. Please, you don't have anything to be in a hurry with. Just take your time and then do what you want. So at this point it's at 3, and I'm using 3.5. So I'm going to try to adjust my tape rule. Let it still maintain the 5. I want it to still maintain the 5. Just please do it with care. It should still maintain the 5, but this side should be 3.5. because I want it to be at the right place. So just do it with care. So you can see what I have. This is 3.5 here. This is 3, and this line in between is 3.5, and yet I have my 5 here. From here to here is 5 centimeters. So I think we have a place to pick up now. So I'm going to go ahead. This is the point that we finally pick. So I'm going to go ahead and punch that side. Hey, sorry for that. So I'm going to punch it. Now you can decide to use a wider punch than this one that I just used now. The one I use now is about 2 millimeters. So you can decide to use this to punch it so that your strap can easily enter into it. So let me try to use this as well. Now you can't afford to make it too big, because that can affect your work. It must not be too big. It must perfectly size it. Sometimes you have to insert it, gently. And don't forget the style. It was folded this way. If you look at the picture, our design was folded this way. It was folded this way and then inserted into it. So please just have to bear with me. I may have to just You can decide to use the very small one and just open it a little bit. Now please, if the strap you want to, now you can see that this is round and this tends to be, you know, straight. Now you can decide to use about 1 millimeter. I mean 1 millimeter punch to punch it. Then place it this way. When you, after punching it, place it this way. You can see, place it where it ends. You see I've already folded it, so it's the fold you are placing. Place it this way. Then mark it upwards, please. You mark upward where this thing is stopping here. You can see how wide it is. You can see that I did not put it like this. I put it in such a way that it's even coming down. It's coming outside that particular, after the particular opening. So let it come down, and then you pick another point here so that it will be easy for it to go into it. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. When you want to place your strap, please don't place it downward. You don't place downward. You place upwards. Any strap you want to put at this point, as long as you have picked your 3.5 centimeter by 5 centimeter, you are going to place the strap upward to open. Don't place downward to open, please. That is very important. So I'm just going to go ahead now. Now please, when you want to punch yours, I will crave your indulgence. Don't use this big punch. Use the 1 millimeter punch or 2 millimeter punch. Now what I am going to do is, because I have used a big one, I have to be very careful, or else that side will be too big. I'm just going to open it up a little bit with that same punch, although it depends on the thickness. It depends on the thickness of your leather. That is another thing. That is what will determine what this point will look like. So I'm going to just try to fold it in. I'm just going to try to fold it in. So don't forget, I need about 1.5 centimeter at the back, and that is what you can see the way it has filled it. You are not having any opening, you are not having any space. It is really very important. It's not always good when it's having excess. So take your time to insert it gently. Don't widen that particular opening, saying it's not entering. Do it gently. Please do it gently. Now I think with this, we can now go ahead to our sides. Let's quickly go ahead to the side. Now considering the side, I'm going to, at least by now, I believe you should know where to pick on this particular side. This one is at the normal point that we normally use at this particular point, and I think it's about 6 to 7 centimeter from here. So you can decide to use about 6 centimeter or 7 centimeter. Let me use the measuring tape. That will be better. At least everyone can see that. You can see that. So we use, yes, you can decide to use either 7 centimeter or 6 centimeter for this inner part, please. This inner part of the strap. If you look at the design, you'll find out that this particular part is a little bit higher. It's not at the same level with this. Please look at it. It's not at the same level with this. It's the same with this particular one. It's the same with this. Is this side, it went up a little bit more. So this side, if we are going to be using about 6 or 7 centimeter, it means I'm going to try to place my meter rule. Just try to place it and create a T so as to know where to place it. You can see what I have there. So this is where my strap, the side strap, the one that does not have buckle, this is where I'm going to place it. Now, if you use 7, I will advise you to bring it downward this way and fix it in. So if you are using 7 centimeters as the length, so you have it this way. I'm going to go ahead and punch as usual. I want to use that small part now because at every point in time, the size. So this is about 1. This one is about 2 millimeter. So I'm going to punch this way. If you don't have this, please, you can use all other ones like this. So you can see the opening. So I'm going to place it downwards like this. Now, when you are placing it, ensure that the first opening is covered. Cover it. That is what will make it fit into it perfectly. Don't do it like this. No, make sure it covers it. So that by the time you pick this particular side, because you are going to be picking this side as well. Now, as you pick each of these, please ensure that from the edge to where you are picking is about 1 centimeter. It should be 1 centimeter. it should be 1 centimeter. You can see what I have. This is 1 centimeter. At least this is between here and here is just 1. Between 6 and 7 is 1. So it's 1. So ensure that it is 1 centimeter away from the edge. Now this is what we have here. We are going to go ahead again and punch it. We're going to go ahead and punch it. You can see what I have here. Wow. So this particular one is what we are going to place. So take your utility knife, open it up. Now the opening as well for this depends on the thickness of your leather. It depends on the thickness of your final upper. If that is tiny, you double open it this way. You can see that I have opened it twice. It will be wider now. Let me do that again. You have to be very careful. Now you can see what I've done here. Insert it gently. You can see that it perfectly fits it. It perfectly fits it. So for this particular side, the previous one we use 7. So for this particular one, we are moving a little bit upward, so we are going to use 9. So it means this side, oh, I'm really sorry for that. For this side we use 7. Don't forget, this side is 7, this side is 7. So now we are going to move it upward a little bit to 9. We are going to use this side 9. That is what we are going to use. So it means if this side is 6, please, this is particular to this design. In case the design you have is at the same spot here, you are going to follow the same principle. You're going to follow the same principle. You're going to follow the same principle, please. The only thing you need to do is, if you measure 6, if you are make sure, like now you measure 7 here, please. I want to quickly explain this. If you measure 7 here and you trace it to this side, this is 7. When you want to trace this particular one, make sure that it is 6.8. Let it be a little bit lower. Let it be 6.8. Let it be a little bit lower, because the fullest part of your leg will be resting on this side. So it needs that small allowance so that the two of them, this side does not go up. No, it should be a little bit, outside here. So it means that if this particular one is like this, if it's here like this one will come out a little bit with 0.2 centimeter lower than this one, just 0.2 centimeter. That is about 2 millimeter lower. It's not going to be obvious, but we always need it. If you look at footwear, you find out that this side and this side always come down a little bit. It's not really obvious, but it's always there. It's always there. So pay attention to that particular part of it. So we have here 9. That's only applicable if this side and this side are same at the same point. Please, is that when they're at the same time. But for our design, we are going to be placing it right here. So don't forget, it should be 1 centimeter away. Measure your own. When you measure it, you will know what. Please measure yours. Measure it. Let it be 1 centimeter. You see, this is 1 centimeter because I'm already used to it. So please, 1 centimeter, please. So if that is 1 centimeter, we are going to go ahead and open it up just like we did to the other side. We're going to do that to it. Then place this here. Don't forget, we are going to place it in right here. So I told us earlier, it doesn't have to be this way. You have to cover it totally. So the same thing applicable here as well. So I'm going to open it as well again. Please, if you don't have a punch plier, you can use this particular kind of punch. All you need to do is place it on it and hammer it, and it will do exactly what you want. So this particular one, let's go ahead. I'm going to open twice. This first one and the next one. You have to be very careful. Make sure that your utility knife doesn't come out too much so that it doesn't tear it off. By the time you're opening, it doesn't tear this side off. That is very important. Make it very small. Make it very small. So let's quickly go ahead and then let's see what our shoe looks like. So this side enters this place. This particular strap goes in here. Don't forget, we told ourselves that this side is going to be 1.75, 1.75. So now let me pick up the last and let's go ahead with our last thing. Now this goes in between here. This goes in between here. It goes in between here, and then it's going to pass this particular side. I need you to see this. It's going to pass this particular side. Let it pass in between. You can see it's passing in between that. It's still coming up. I hope you can see it. It's passing that side. It's coming this way. It's going to go into this side. I hope you can see what I'm doing. It's going to pass through that side. So this one can come up a little bit more if need be. I told us it can be 2, it can be, so it's a straight strap, and then it enters into this particular strap here. I hope you can see what I'm trying to create from this. Can you see that this is actually looking like what we saw in the picture? Come on, you can see what we have. So you can adjust every part of it until it duly. Now, because I am making use of a paper pattern, you can see it has opened up. So I want to believe with what you just saw now, you should be excited to actually create yours now. It's because it's a it's a paper pattern. That's why they're cut out at that point. But I will hold it together and then show us how it finally looks like. You can see what I have now. You can see what we have. You can see how lovely it looks now. Now I want you to remember that I told us that this side our fold, I was talking about fold, I said it should be 1.7 1.25 the other time. Please, this buckle side, ensure it remains as 1.25. You know this strap is going to enter under, and this particular buckle too is going to be suspended, so that it will be easy for free flow. So make sure that this one, when you are folding this, make sure that it is 1.25. You can limit this to 1.5 as the case may be. You can limit this to that 1.5. So you can see what we are having here. So I think this is so beautiful. Make sure that this is about 1.75 or 1.2. The height, please. Let it be about 1.75 or I said 1.75 or 2 inches, this particular side, so that you can see the way this is opening. It will not open. And nevertheless, by the time you pull this strap, everything will lay flat. Now that you have this, you will be able to know where to punch on your strap. You can see where this is. So it means that at that particular point in time, you can create a mark there, then use your punches. Because it's paper, that's why I'm able to use this to punch it. So now you can see what I have. So punch it, you punch extra upwards, extra downwards, about 0.75 centimeter differences between each of the perforated sides. Wow. So I want to believe you have enjoyed this particular class. So ensure you create yours. Even if you are going to use the carton like I did, please go ahead and do that. Thank you so much for being part of this course. I know that when it comes to bottoming, that will be done in some other courses, or probably you must have watched it in some other courses. So thank you so much. This is really lovely and beautiful. I think I'm loving this. You can imagine it in a combination of 2 colors. You can even create your insole in different forms. I've taught us how to create in different forms. So please, by now you should be able to do this and present something so lovely and beautiful for me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Bye.